Hi parents. Before we get started on today's story time, I want to tell you today's is a little bit different. Today might not be the right day to watch this one, but I want you to save it for, if you do need it, for your kids, if today isn't the right day. Today we're going to talk about death and loss in a way that is accessible to preschoolers and young kids. But with all that's happened, I think it's an important thing to talk about, and, I hope you like this one. All right. Hi, everybody. Ms. Mary back again with a virtual story time from Midpoint Libraries. Are you ready? If you're ready for a story, wave hello. If you're ready for a story, wave hello. If you're ready for a story and you want us all to know, if you're ready for a story, wave hello. Hi, everybody. So today, I thought we'd talk about something a little bit different. Sometimes, most of the time at Storytime, we have fun and we sing silly songs and we talk about all the fun things we can do. But sometimes life is hard, especially if there's somebody special in your life who you don't get to see anymore. Maybe they moved away. Maybe they died. That's hard, isn't it? So I thought today I could share a couple of books about what it's like when you lose somebody and how to find happiness again, okay? It's going to be a little different today, but that's good. So the first book that I have for us today is called If You Miss Me, and this one was written for us by Jocelyn Lee Langrand. Okay. So we're going to start here. And on this first picture, we see a little girl in 3 different ways of dancing, and we see her dancing with her grandma. The little girl's name is Charlie. Charlie loved to dance, and her grandma loved to watch her. She watched her in class, and on the playground, and all through town. At night, Charlie and Grandma danced under the moonlight. Or, if they were tired, they made wishes to the moon about their heart's desire. That's a really big moon, isn't it? When fall time came, Charlie moved to the city with her parents. And Grandma said, "If you miss me, look at the moon and I will do the same." Sometimes, Grandma came to the city. And when she was there, she watched Charlie dance with her friends. Charlie's heart always leaped when she saw Grandma in the crowd. Each time Grandma left, she said, "If you miss me, look at the moon, and I will do the same." Sometimes they talked on the phone. Charlie loved to share every detail of her dances with Grandma, and Grandma wanted to hear them all. "I have a dance recital this summer," said Charlie. "Will you come?" "I will be there," Grandma promised. But when the winter came, Grandma visited Charlie less and less. It was Charlie's turn to visit during break. "I miss you, Grandma. When will you come to see me dance again?" Charlie asked. "Don't worry," Grandma said. "If you miss me, look at the moon." Charlie finished her sentence, "And I will do the same." But then she asked, "But Grandma, why the moon?" "Because even if we're apart," Grandma said, "the same moon shines for both of us. So when I see the moon, I see you." Not long after that, Grandma passed away. That's another word for saying that Grandma died. It was the coldest winter that Charlie ever remembered. It was the hardest one, too. Charlie kept making mistakes during practice. Dancing was not the same without Grandma. In truth, nothing was the same without Grandma. But at night, the moon whispered to Charlie. It sounded like, "I miss you too." For the next few weeks, Charlie danced every day after school, preparing with her dance studio for the summer recital. It was the biggest show of the year, and Charlie wanted to dance her best. Soon, it was time. Everyone arrived, excited for the big night. Everyone except for Charlie, who felt nervous and alone like never before. She did not search the crowd for familiar faces this time. Instead, she looked up, and Charlie's heart leaped. What do you see outside the window? There's the moon. Suddenly, Charlie understood what Grandma had been telling her all along. Even if she and Grandma were apart, the same moon shined for both of them. So, when Charlie saw the moon, she saw Grandma too. Isn't that great? I like that one a lot. Now, a couple things I want to say. Here in this picture, at the very end of the book, where Charlie says that when she saw the moon, she saw Grandma, and we see Charlie dancing with Grandma, that doesn't mean that Grandma came back, but Charlie imagined Grandma and remembered her very much. And so in that way, Grandma was there with her, even though Charlie couldn't see her or touch her. And I also want to go back to this picture here where Charlie was getting ready for her dance recital. This picture here where she's sitting in bed. It looks to me like she's sitting in her bed and maybe crying and looking at the moon, and Charlie's mom is there with her. And I think that's an important thing to remember. When you miss somebody, you know, there are other people here who can help you to feel better, and maybe talk about memories of that special person you miss. So I'm going to tell you a little story about my life. My mom died many years ago, and she had a nickname. Do you have a nickname? Yeah, a lot of people have nicknames. Like I have a brother named William, but everybody calls him Bill, right? Or, you know, anyway, you know what a nickname is. Well, my mom's nickname was Acorn. I know, like the things that fall off of trees. Isn't that silly? And it's a long story how she got that nickname. But we, my brothers and sister and I, used to call her Acorn. Well, sometimes when I'm sad because I miss my mom, I don't get to see her anymore in person, but sometimes I think she's around me. You know, I can kind of feel her presence. Sometimes I will see an acorn. There have been times when I'm having a hard day and I'm taking a walk outside and I look down on the ground and there's an acorn. I don't know where it came from, but I kind of feel like sometimes that's my mom's way of telling me it's going to be okay. So I brought with me today a very special acorn. Now, acorns aren't usually blue, are they? But one of my friends painted that. Their family did a fun craft activity where they painted things they found in nature. And my friend Theo painted that blue acorn for me. And so I keep that close. And you know what? Sometimes it's really nice to know that the person who is gone is still around in my memory. And I can remember all the fun things about that person. Now, I've been talking about if a person we love dies, but you know, another thing that happens sometimes that's sad is a pet might die. And that's really hard because I know you love your pets. I love my pets too. So I thought maybe we could share a story about that, okay? This book is called Big Cat, Little Cat, and it was written and illustrated for us by Elisha Cooper. And I'm going to point out the silver sticker. Remember, that means this is one of the best picture books of the whole year. Big Cat, Little Cat. There was a cat who lived alone until the day a new cat came. The cat showed the new cat what to do. When to eat, when to drink, where to go, how to be, and when to rest. Big cat, little cat. Days went by, and months too, and the little cat grew and grew and grew. Big cat, bigger cat. The cats lived in the city, and every day there was work. Cooking, cleaning, climbing, hunting, exploring, and making plans. My cats like to sit at the window and yell at the birds at the bird feeder too. For 5 minutes each day, they went wild. My cats do that too. Afterward, they took naps and dreamed. Their days were full. Years went by, and more years too. And every day the cats were together until the older cat got older and one day had to go and didn't come back. And that was hard. I'm going to say that again. The cat went away and didn't come back, and that was hard. It was hard for everyone, but the whole family too. Until the day a new cat came. The cat showed the new cat what to do, when to eat, when to drink, where to go, how to be, and when to rest. Big cat, little cat. I really like that one by Elisha Cooper. Because, it's really hard when you lose a pet. I've done that, and it's really, really sad. And sometimes if a new pet joins your family, that can help you to feel better, give you a new friend to play with, but you still miss your old pet. I get it. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you to do 2 things. Number 1, if you feel sad, talk to the grown-ups around you, because if you feel sad, they probably feel sad too. When the grandma in my family died, it was really hard, and it helped us to talk to each other about how we felt. And you know what we did? We shared stories. I heard so many great stories about things that I never knew had happened or I had forgotten, things that grandma did when she was a little girl. Oh, it's wonderful. So talk to people, okay? That's 1. And number 2, take the time to make something, maybe draw a picture, or if you're practicing writing, maybe you could write some words to someone who you love very much and give it to them, okay? It helps to talk about somebody after they're gone, but talk to somebody right now today and say, I love you very much, okay? All right. Well, thanks for joining with me today for a kind of different story time. And talk to your grown-ups, okay? Let's say goodbye like we always do. See you later, alligator, after while, crocodile. Give a hug, ladybug, blow a kiss, jellyfish. See you soon, big baboon. Out the door, dinosaur. Take care, polar bear. Wave goodbye, butterfly. Bye-bye, everybody.